Ready?
All right, I've got a thumbs up from everybody here on the crew. I just want to say hello and welcome to Daily with Doc. Let's go ahead and open up the door. Let those who are in the waiting room here on our live Zoom in so that they can sit back and get set up and enjoy the information that is going to be presented today as we talk about longevity. Folks, what you can do to help yourself, empower yourself, and be that person who is more in control of what's going on in your own health. My name is Becca Dukes. I am honored to be the hostess of this program, Daily with Doc. If you would like to join us live, we are here Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. And to get here, you go to dailywithdoczoom.com. That is dailywithdoczoom.com. But I also want to invite you to our website because this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. Sign up for a newsletter where we send out a weekly newsletter that shares the previous week's shows with descriptions so that you can easily find information to be able to share it. And that's what we are hoping that you do, that you take this information because you're not hearing it by accident. And as you're listening, you're thinking about somebody that might benefit from the information that is being shared here on this program so that you also can share. We are a resource for an amazing community that it has a heart and a passion and a focus on not just making themselves healthier, but their families, their communities, so that all together we can contribute to making a healthier world. And folks, that is more in our capabilities than some establishments want us to believe. Now, I do have to let you know the FDA requires me to say that this program is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor are the products that are mentioned on this program meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. But folks, when you give the body what it needs, the body itself can do some amazing things because we are not chemical deficient. Chemicals mask symptoms and cause diminished function in other parts of the body. We're nutrient deficient. And when you give the nutrients that the body needs, the cells are able to reproduce and become healthier and healthier. So what's that going to do? Just make for a healthier being. Well, I know that this is a fact because that's what happened to me. So I'm very, very honored, like I mentioned in the beginning, to be able to share this information because this is information that made a massive positive impact in my own life. And it is my mission to be able to allow others to hear the message that changed my life, and they can make the choice to run with it, make it happen for themselves, or at least I know that I did my part in helping somebody else find some truth as to what happens within the body and what's required to make it happen correctly. Well, if you're out on Rumble, we just want to say hello, or Facebook, or YouTube, or Spotify, or Amazon Music, iHeart, all these different locations that we are on. We want to know that you're there, that we're being heard. So please, if there's a way to comment, say hello. Let us know where you are joining us from, whether it's a state, a country. Just say hello and let us know. We love the fact that we are reaching around the world. And for those of you who are sharing the information, please make sure that you have gone to dwdgiveaway.com and sign up for our giveaway so that you can earn points as you are sharing the message. And I will be then sending out thank yous for those who are sharing the most. So again, my name is Becca Dukes, and without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you the man of the next 50 minutes who has a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a study focus on plants and soils, who also has a doctorate of veterinary medicine, who, if that wasn't enough, has 3 postdoctorates in pathology and over 27,000 autopsies under his belt. And if that was not enough, a naturopathic physician. So folks, help me welcome to the screen with me, Dr. Joel Wallach. Hello, Dr. Wallach, and welcome to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you so much, Becca, and thank you, team. The whole team here, just we can't do this by ourselves. We need this whole team. We appreciate everybody's contribution. And this is an endless process. This goes back thousands of years ago, and it's been going on and going on and going on. As technology comes along, it actually makes things easier. Technology helps make things easier. Well, what we're going to talk about today, as Rebecca said, we're going to talk about longevity. Okay, you want to be healthy longer, want to live longer, and contribute to your family, your community. And this is not difficult. When you look at some numbers, it's kind of scary stuff. For instance, when you look at emergency room doctors, medical doctors in the United States, emergency room doctors, the life expectancy is 58.7. What? Yeah, because they're up all night and dealing with all these injuries and diseases and stuff, and they're drinking soft drinks and fried foods and this, that, and the other, and fast foods and stuff, and so they're not really doing the right thing, and that's why their life expectancy is 58.7. And here's a shocker to me: professional athletes in the United States, their life expectancy is 56.7. What? They're getting paid to exercise. Yes, but okay, there's that yes but in there. Okay. And what happens is when you exercise, you sweat. Now, unfortunately, when these professional athletes and university athletes, athletes that deal with the professional sports and also things like, all kinds of organizations that have professional sports involved. And it's, let's see here, professional 56.7. Why is that? Well, when they exercise or training or in a game, they're sweating like crazy. And during the game or afterwards, they drink a lot of water to rehydrate. And that's the mistake, because the sweat is not just water. Sweat is a soup. It contains all the nutrients floating around in your blood. And so when you're sweating out this soup. And if you're just drinking water to rehydrate, this is why the athletes in America, 56.7. I was kind of shocked at that one. Now, when you look at the countries who live the longest, they're either Asian countries or they're countries which are surrounded completely by the oceans. Why is that? Well, because the oceans, okay, are loaded with minerals, okay? And when you look at what I like, of course, we have the fucoid Z, we have Z radical, we have let's see here, what else we have. It's these sources of minerals, okay? And I have fucoid Z and Z radical twice a day, okay? Of course, I'm taking my Healthy Brain and Heart Pack twice a day. I take my Rebound twice a day. So I'm getting minerals, okay? And I'm 84 years old. And most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at me. They can't believe I'm 84 years old, okay? And so let's look at some more here. Now, Japan, obviously Asian, 84.7 is their life expectancy. China's 76. Why are they so low compared to Japan? Well, China, half of China lives on wheat. The other half lives on rice. And they both get varying amounts of saltwater plants, seaweed and stuff like that, okay? When you look at the Russians, their life expectancy is 72. Kenya, a lot of desert and plains, 59. That's not too surprising. South Africa is 63. Mexico is 77. Germany is 81.2. Spain is 82. Ukraine is 71. Denmark is 77.2. And let's see here, the Philippines is 71. Okay. Oh, the record in the industrialized world, let's just look at the industrial world. The record for longevity is a French woman by the name of Jean Calment, 1997. She died 1997 at age 122 years, 164 days. That's the record still today. Okay. For people who live in the industrialized world, 122 years, 165 days. Okay. And when you look at the Hunzas in the Himalayan mountains, okay, their life expectancy is 120. Their life expectancy is 120. Okay, because they're getting all this crushed rock coming down the mountains, and they use it to cook with, they use it to drink, they use it to fertilize and irrigate their gardens and so forth. So they're getting lots of minerals, and that's why the Hunza's life expectancy is 120. Okay, and so this is not difficult. Once you start seeing these numbers, and it just makes sense that if you're getting more minerals and you hang on to them, you're going to have less diseases, because most diseases are mineral, caused by mineral deficiencies. And so this is one of those things where we can control that. We can control that. And of course, the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Okay, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Okay, this book, in the first 25 years was out, we sold, along with the book, in 17 languages, 40 million of the, let's see here, of the, I guess they didn't have CDs quite yet then, but it was the what? They had tapes. That's what I'm looking for. They had the tapes. And then the next 25 years, 400 million of those tapes and CDs were sold, 17 languages. Okay, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, because everybody wanted the information so they could live 25 years longer. Okay, this is not difficult. You'll save an enormous amount of money, because when you take care of yourself, you're not running to the doctor. Even if you have insurance, you're still, having to pay for parking and gasoline to get there and all this, that, and the other. And it's one of those things where if you pay attention to what's going on, you can add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. You can add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. When you look at the Middle East, Israel, their life expectancy is 83.49. When you look at Egypt is 71. Okay. And that's not a religious thing, it's a dietary thing. Okay, where they live and what they're eating and what they're not eating. Okay. And so I can just tell you that it's one of those things where if you do everything right, you can add 25 to 50 health years to your life. And when you look at countries like India, their life expectancy runs from, depending on what part of India you're from, 70.4, 79.3, that kind of thing. Okay. And so they kind of, what should I say, they're very similar in their diets and habits. They're very similar in the environment. And so that's why they kind of run very, very similar longevities. France, 79.2. Okay. Women actually live a little bit longer than men in France, 85.3. But don't forget Jean Calment, 122 years, 164 days. Okay. And so this is something that is unimpeachable evidence. Okay. Because they publish this every year. Okay. Publish it every year. And it's one of those things where we spend a lot of money dealing with treating disease that are caused by nutritional deficiencies. Arthritis alone, we spend $626.8 billion a year just to treat the symptoms of arthritis. When it comes to treating something like osteoporosis, okay, all right, we spend in the United States, okay, we spend $2.3 trillion just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis. So when you add $626.8 billion for treating symptoms of arthritis, it's over $3 trillion we're spending just to treat the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis. These are just simple mineral deficiency diseases, okay? And of course, we learned this in the animal industry because we don't have health insurance for cows and sheep and pigs and chickens and stuff like that. But we did learn that if we gave them, as they're growing up and having babies and making steaks and drumsticks and stuff like that for sale, okay, and you're giving all these nutrients to these animals, they live longer and they don't get all these diseases, which cost the farmers a lot of money, okay? That's how we can keep the costs of various forms of animal products, such as eggs and meat and so forth, because we give the animals all these vitamins and minerals. And that's where I kind of learned this. I'm seeing what's going on here in the animal industry and why we didn't do that for people. Everybody was happy because they had insurance. You know, they had a good job, which paid for their health insurance and so forth. But yeah, I'd rather just spend less money, okay, and live longer and healthier. And this is what's happening. And so we're happy to get this information out there. And of course, if you let your people know who you're working with in your longevity business, they will say, well, yeah, let's get this information out there. And we're going to create a colony here where people live a long time and they're healthy. They don't get these diseases because we're giving them all these wonderful nutrients to prevent and reverse these diseases. And so this is unimpeachable evidence. This goes back 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago. All right. This is unimpeachable evidence, goes back a long time. And when you look at Adam, according to the old Bible, Adam lived to be 930. Noah lived to be 950. Let's see here. Methuselah lived to be 969. Okay. That's because they were doing everything right. And so let's see if we can't get some people up into the 200s, 300s, 400s, 500. Okay, let's get people up in those longevity numbers. And I just get so excited how much help we can give people. And it's one of those things where, what should I say? We charge wholesale prices for our products. I personally don't take any, what should I say? I don't get paid, you know, like a medical doctor gets paid when you go to see them. I just give the information for free. Okay. And that's because we want to make sure that everybody gets access to the information, and we don't want to be putting barriers up by saying, well, that's going to cost you $500. No, we don't do that. And so with that said, back over to you, Becca.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, for that introduction to kind of like opening up the window so that people see there's so much that you can do. And it is within your own control, folks. So Dr. Wallach, Eric out on YouTube has a question. He wants to know why you're surprised or aren't surprised that there in Kenya, the expectancy was 59 years old.
Yeah, Kenya is 59, South Africa is 63. And this is because of the soil there just doesn't have the nutrients in it. And they tend not to deal with oceanic foods. Okay. They deal with the animals living on the grasses out in the sort of semi-desert area.
So they're more, you know, doing what we all should do, but adding the nutrients to the soil. So they're farming and they're being herders and such like that. If I might be completely wrong and off base, but they're doing more things more natural. But like you've mentioned in the past, if the nutrients aren't in the soil, It's not going to be in the food or the food that the food eats. And they don't stay there forever. They have to be replenished.
Yes. Well, plants only need 3 minerals. We need 60. Plants only need 3. We need 60. So you see this um, land with all these grasses growing out there, and it looks beautiful, but it may only have 3 minerals in there, and it won't support healthy human life. Okay. And so that's why they learned a long time ago to not live in one place, but to go through there. Okay.
Like nomads.
Yeah.
Like nomads?
Like what?
Like nomads.
Yeah.
More
Nomads.
nomadic.
Yeah. And so that's why they had to move around in the old days, because there was not enough nutrition in one area to provide everything that was needed. And so they pick up 3 minerals here and 5 minerals there and 15 minerals over there. And so that's moving around. They were more likely to survive than if they just stayed in one place. Except the exceptions, of course, were the people who lived near the oceans. And so when you look at the Asians again, the Asians, and of course, this is why we have the Z radical, the fucoid Z, the, let's see here. Oh, also the ocean's gold. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
These have all these plant minerals from the oceans. Okay. And that's why these people live longer. It's very simple once you understand that. This is not a genetic thing. It's not because, their mommy and daddy live so long. It's because of where they got their food.
All right. And that should be hopeful for all of us,
Yes.
Dr. Wallach, especially those whose parents didn't live long. There's things that you can do so that you can outlive those who have gone before you. And it's all within nutrition for most of it. I mean, of course, there's accidents that happen, and the good Lord will call us home when he thinks that it's time for us to go home. But in the meantime, there's a lot that we can do to take care of our bodies and our temples as we are here on earth, and just being, doing good or wherever we're at, spreading hope, spreading love, and keeping it to be a more pleasant place to live, Dr. Wallach.
Very well said. You get an A+.
Well, thank you so much, Doc. And folks, we just want to let you know that, you are important and your questions are important as well. If you would like to ask a question wherever you are, you can ask it in the comments or chat if that is something that's available. I know we're on Spotify, Rumble, Amazon Music, Apple. We're also on the Apple app, all different places, radio. It's just fantastic. And I want to do a shout out to our radio audience also, as we are continually being heard on KSCO and KOMY and other locations as well, as I'm finding out, Dr. Wallach. So I think that's fabulous that there are others that are using our show to help educate others. So let's go to some questions, Doc. And folks, if you're here live with us in the Zoom, you can raise your hand by going to the reactions option in the menu and then find raise hand. I will be calling on people in the order that their hands are raised. We do have some people that aren't able to go on with us because they don't have a microphone. So you can type your information into the chat. Please make sure that you include age, weight, height, whatever conditions that the person's main concern is. And then, are they on any medications for anything? And how many times do they get up to go to the restroom at night? So may seem like a silly question, but it actually speaks volumes whenever Dr. Wallach is looking at the symptoms. So yes. Well, let's go to the first question, and that's coming from Barbara here, Dr. Wallach. She says, my 19-year-old granddaughter has always struggled with irregular cycles. Finally went to the doctor for blood tests. Clinical diagnosis was POCS, PS, so polycystic ovary syndrome. Blood work came back normal. She's 5'1", 170 pounds, and Grandma is wanting to know, what would you recommend for her, Dr. Wallach, so to help regulate those cycles and, bring her down to a healthy 5'1" weight?
Okay, well, need to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, and also the carbonated water, because they neutralize stomach acids, so you cannot efficiently absorb minerals or digest food. Okay, very important. And then when it comes to the cycles, we actually have for both females, we have the Xerafem, and the males, we have Xeratest. Okay, and um, she's 19 years old and weighs 170 pounds. I'd have her take 2 or 3 of those Xerafems twice a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month of the Xerafems. That's in addition to 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs, okay, to get all the nutrients that are necessary there. And you'll save a lot of money when you get rid of the bad foods. Bad foods tend to be expensive. And so the, quote, extra expense, unquote, of the vitamins and minerals and the Xerafem for the girls and Xeratest for the boys, by getting rid of the bad foods, that money, just switch it over, so it's not going to cost you any more.
Well, the best thing about getting rid of the bad foods, Dr. Wallach, is all the good stuff you're doing is going to be more beneficial.
That's correct.
All right. Well, thank you, Barbara, for that question. And the next question, Dr. Wallach, and I'm excited to say hello to Dr. Joyce Hunt Brown, who is just a dear, dear friend. She is absolutely fantastic, Dr. Wallach. I know you remember her. We saw her at the American Naturopathic Medicine Association convention, and she has a question for you, Doc.
Okay.
So she has her little dog, sweet little Chihuahua, only 9 years old, and she's losing her teeth, Dr. Wallach. She's on a quality organic dog food. What else does she need?
Okay, so
And
the
I think
dog is
she's only
losing
about
teeth.
10 pounds at the most.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, yeah. Well, again, we do have the dog food, okay, Arthrodex. It's 1 scoop for 20 pounds of body weight. And so it's an add-on to a good canned dog food with vitamins and minerals in it, okay? And so 10 pounds would be a half a scoop of the Arthrodex every day in the canned dog food that has vitamins and minerals in it. And that should stop the dental arcade loss.
All right, so Arthrodex, half a scoop sprinkled over the top of a good quality gluten-free food, dog food, because we want to make sure that our
No
pets
table scraps.
no table scraps. That's right. Because yeah, but yeah. Next question, Dr. Wallach, is coming from Gingy. Gingy has a question for a 40-year-old man, 6 foot, 200 pounds. And he's wanting to know, what is the protocol to repair and rebuild the myelin that is throughout the body, Dr. Wallach? So you must have some of those symptoms that you mentioned in this book right here. It's all in your head.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, basically we have the I-26, which is a raw material for your brain to make myelin. The white matter, the brain and spinal cord, and also the peripheral nerves have the insulation material. And so the I-26, I take 2 or 3 of those 2 or 3 times a day myself. I like the French vanilla chewables. They come also in a banana coconut chewable, and then we have capsules, we have powder. So there's several ways you can get the I-26. But if you want to regrow the brain, you want to regrow the spinal cord, you want to regrow all the peripheral nerves, I-26.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And then Joe mentioned that he gives his 4-legged buddies eggs. Is that okay?
Well, as long as, in addition to the eggs, he's getting a good brand of dog food with the vitamins, minerals in it, right? And also the eggs have to be soft scrambled in butter, soft boiled, soft poached, not fried, not hard boiled. Okay. We want to
Is
get
raw?
I don't like raw eggs, but
Okay.
they do have complications when you have raw eggs.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And Dr. Wallach, I know you may not know this, but did you know I-26 has a product specifically for our companions? And it's
Yes.
called I-26 Companion.
Well, there you
So,
go.
and it has that hyperimmune egg in there, plus the vitamins, minerals to help maintain healthy pets as well. So
There you
just
go.
wanted to throw that out there because I know that our pets are very important and
Well, they're part
keeping
of the
them
family.
with their family. Yes, they are. Absolutely family. Well, Dr. Wallach, I have a question that's coming in from those that are signing up for our newsletter. And Joy is wanting to know about her thinning lips. Now, she was listening to you on Coast to Coast this last time that you were on, and you were talking about the thinning lips. So that would be like the skin breaking down, right?
Well,
Cartilage.
but there's hormones involved there, okay? And
Okay.
okay, and so this is where the I-26 comes in, okay, I-26 and also the Xerafem. That's in addition to the 90.
All right. And that 90 being the brain and heart pack,
That is
or
correct.
all right.
Vitamin
So that
pack.
making sure that you're getting all those 90 essential nutrients, plus with the brain and heart pack, it's like 215. You're getting those extra essential fatty acids that are important for even hormone function as well. And then the ultimate selenium and the cofactors that are in there, which are pretty fantastic. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And then the next question is coming in from John, Dr. Wallach. So he says he doesn't have any major health concerns, but he has been losing weight and he has lost 15 pounds in the last few months. And he's wanting to know what he can do to gain it back healthy. So not just gain fat, but he wants to gain back healthy weight.
Okay. Well, if you're constantly losing weight, that means that you're not getting the nutrients necessary to maintain healthy flesh, okay? And if it's a man, you want to get the Xera test. If it's a woman, you want the Xerafem, okay, for the hormones. And then also, of course, you need the 90 essential nutrients, the health, brain, and heart pack according to body weight. And stay away from the bad stuff.
Mhm.
You know, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. It's all got to go. And I also like people to take the Rebound, our sports drink. We have it in the powder. We have it in the sticks. Okay, 30 sticks in a box. There's 36 servings in the powder canisters. And we also have the cans, but um, I don't like the carbonation in the cans. And so if you're going to use the can, that's fine, but you got to pop the tops on them the night before you're going to use them tomorrow and put them in the refrigerator. And so all the carbonation will be gone by the morning, and then it'll be safe to drink.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And I like the canister. One, it saves money. Two, you can add an extra half a scoop if you need a little extra boost to your water. Has less sugar, no carbonation. You can drink it right away. So I use the powder myself, Doc. It's pretty tasty too.
Pretty clever girl.
I'm always embellishing. So I'll put in my soul sticks to give that extra mood boost if I'm feeling a little slow, or my smart if I need to really be on sharp thinking. So all about meeting people where they're at and helping them get the nutrition that they need to be able to function at their optimal best, Dr. Wallach. We have a question coming from Rohaiwa, and forgive me if I said that incorrectly. And she's wanting to know what you can do for hair loss in ladies. So 38 years old, female, about 150 pounds, and losing hair, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, well, got to get rid of all the bad foods, maximize absorption of the good stuff, right? No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat and rhinos, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet ones. And also the carbonated water need to go. And then at 150 pounds, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 bottles a month of the MSM, which will help normalize the bone marrow, skin, all that kind of stuff, where you need connective tissue. Okay. And then also, I like the hair, skin, and nails, 3 of those twice a day. All right. And also the Xerafem. Female hormones will help push more hair growth.
So you're working not just like in one direction, you're doing multi-facets and layering. Yeah, so if it's hormonal, we all need to have hormonal balance anyways. So you're addressing the hormonal balance, you're addressing the nutrition as a whole, because without having that nutrition on board, then there's lots of different things that can happen, including not having healthy hair follicles, using the hair, skin, and nails.
Yeah, that's kind of like the red warning light in the dashboard of your car when you're losing hair. Similar concept there.
And that could be male or female. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, the males would use Xeratest and the females use Xerafem.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And Joe, he made a comment, which I'm right there with you, Joe. He says, I don't care so much about how long I live. I do enjoy feeling well right now and knowing that I'm likely going to be well tomorrow and on into the future if I stick with Doc's plan. So why not be able just to enjoy being here and not have that as a worrisome thought that lingers on from day to day? So it'll be nice to
when
see
people, when they're not paying attention to the details, they do have to go to the doctor a lot. They have to go get blood tests. They got to do this and got to do that. And they're on 14 different prescription drugs and all this kind of stuff. They're going to be doing some surgical procedures. And I was just reading, in the news this morning, Fox News, that these people that, what should I say, they have a struggle. They have a struggle, and these are everyday good Americans, right? But they have a struggle because they're not getting enough nutrition, and no matter how much you eat, you're not getting the nutrition. Okay, you're in trouble, and so this is why, again, professional athletes in America, life expectancy, let's see here, we say is 56.7. Emergency room medical doctors in America is 58.7. I mean, that blows my mind. Okay. And then you take the simple everyday person from Japan, okay, who's just eating a lot of seaweed and seafood and that kind of stuff. They live to be 84.7.
And it has to do with diet.
It's all diet. Yeah, it's diet. It's not genetics. It's not a genetic thing. It's a diet because of where you live. I mean, the odds of you eating a lot of shrimp and you live up in the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains, the odds of you getting shrimp is pretty low. Okay. But if you live on a coast, and of course, that's one of the first places they learned about nutritional supplementation was several thousand years ago when people on the coast are boiling seawater, and they get the salt and they take it inland and sell it. And people who had goiter for years, they had goiter for years, and they would give them that salt, which came from the ocean, but it not only had sodium chloride, but it also had other trace minerals in there from the ocean water and that salt, and their goiter would go away. And so that's how we can actually get rid of goiter by giving them this salt from the ocean. There's something in there. They didn't know what it was. Okay, they didn't know there was iodine, but they knew there was something in that salt from the salt water that got rid of goiter. Okay, so that's the first one that they started saying, okay, we need to pay attention here because there's things we can do to maximize health and longevity and so forth.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach, for going into that deeper, because, you know, folks, it is all about diet and what we put into our mouths and what we don't put into our mouths as well. I've got an interesting question here, Dr. Wallach. So the question is, can you ask Doc why the Star Wars star with a full head of white hair at the age of 58 died from an undisclosed heart condition? So we've got a young person, pure gray, dies from a heart condition.
Mm-hmm.
Does that give you any clues as to what might have been the cause? Was it nutritionally?
Of course.
A nutritional deficiency?
Yeah, there's no genetic heart diseases.
No genetic heart diseases. There
That's
are
correct.
congenital heart defects, though, right?
Well, that was because mama was missing something when the baby was being developed. Okay, and
Okay.
so it's kind of like when they're assembling your car on going down the assembly line, and there's pieces missing, you're going to get a congenital defect coming out the other end.
Right.
Same principle for humans.
So what type of heart conditions, Dr. Wallach, are linked to having gray hair, white hair, that could cause death at an early age?
Well, white hair is caused by nutritional deficiency. Heart defects are caused by nutritional deficiencies. It could be the same or different ones, or both. Okay. And so it's one of those things where you have to kind of look at everything. That's why when you have your car, you got these gauges on your dashboard. You got the red warning light in the dashboard. You got the coolant in the radiator. You got the dipsticks so you can check your oil levels. You also have your on your dashboard, tells you how much gasoline you have. There's brake fluid. There's fluid in the transmission. All these things to maximize the function and longevity of your vehicle. Well, the same thing is true for yourself. Same thing is true for yourself. If you take care of yourself as well as you take care of your car, everybody could live to be over 100 years of age, which is not a bad thing. Okay. But most people, they take much better care of their car than they do themselves because they have all the equipment built in on the dashboard, all these gauges and everything, and the dipsticks and all this, that, and the other. So it's built into the system for vehicles. In humans, it's not built into the system. And so you have to be proactive if you're going to maximize your health and longevity as a human.
And being proactive is so much easier than reactive, Dr. Wallach.
It's a lot cheaper too.
Yeah, and a lot cheaper. Well, Dr. Wallach, the next question I have has to do with thrombocytosis. So we have a 68-year-old gentleman who says that his blood work is showing he has high blood platelet count of over 800,000. And as I was looking up, average is between 150,000 and 400,000. So he's got more than double on the high end on the range of normal. What would be your recommendation? Is that something that can be addressed nutritionally as well?
Oh, absolutely, because platelets are made in the bone marrow. Okay. And so this is one of the reasons why we have MSM. It helps rebuild and maintain bone marrow, which gives you red blood cells, platelets, white blood cells, all kinds of antibodies. and so forth. And so it's one of those things where if you're giving your bone marrow what it needs, you won't have all these problems with platelets and thrombosis and blood clots and all this kind of stuff, because the body has all the equipment to do all the right stuff, but it does need the raw materials for the machinery to work.
And those raw materials are going to be the nutrients.
That's correct. The Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, the MSM, the Rebound or Sports Drink. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And the next question that I have, let me just double check here. AJ, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir.
We have a caller, Francis from Hawaii, and he's wondering what your thoughts are on lithium supplements for dementia. This is not for him. He's asking for a general question.
Okay. Well, lithium is an essential nutrient. Okay. We need it for our brain function. Okay. And lithium is found in many, many places. When you look at our plant minerals, there's lithium in there. And we have so many wonderful stories. Okay. For instance, let's see here. Dr. Pastor Mike Freeman. Okay. He was in a coma in a hospital. He was in his 40s. And the doctor said, look, this guy's only got days or weeks left here. You need to get people here, his family, say goodbye to him. And we actually had one of his wife and one of his church members, Linda Tyler, who's one of his church members, rub the minerals on him on the front and the back 3 times a day. Okay. And in 2.5 days, they said he was going to be dead. Okay. Well, in 2.5 days, now we're 10 years down the line, and he's out there lecturing to the world about his story because he woke up in 2.5 days just having these liquid plant minerals rubbed on him with the lithium in it. Absorb it through the skin.
So you think this person could deal with fractionated nutrition? So just taking lithium would do the trick?
No, we never recommend fractionated nutrition. You got to take the 90 essential nutrients, and then you can add what we call secret sauces to that. And so, in addition to the amount of lithium that's in the product, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, you want to add some extra, that's fine. It'll kind of speed up the healing. Okay. So it'll happen faster, more completely, and so forth. But no, you never want to just give a secret sauce. You want to give all 90 essential nutrients, but we have the secret sauces when you have a well-documented deficiency causing a well-documented disease. So in addition to the 90 essential nutrients, which gives you everything you need for maintenance and repair, you want to add extra of the secret sauce that would apply to that particular health issue.
Sir, that's what you taught us. Thank you.
You bet.
All right. Thank you, AJ. And Dr. Wallach, it looks like we only have another minute here. And I have a question. Let me get this set right. Okay. So I have a question, Dr. Wallach, in regards to mom has a son who is getting ready to start sports, and they're kind of on the edge of whether or not they're going to let their child, start sports, because there's so many children that are having, heart issues on the field. So what's going to be something that you would get somebody started on, like 8 years old, 65 pounds is the age of this one, for being able to set them up as a proactive type approach?
So you get one Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per month, a half of those twice a day. Okay. So you're playing sports, sweating all the nutrients out, right? And then also you need the rebound, the sports drink, to add according to the body weight. Okay.
Now,
And
this guy doesn't swallow any pills. There's a gag reflex going on. So if we're working with somebody that's not able to swallow pills, young or old, what are your recommendations for that? Because there's the EFA plus and the ultimate EFA and the selenium in that
what
brain.
you can do is grind them up and put them in some applesauce or something like that and let them eat it that way.
Okay. Okay. So we've got the brain and heart pack. We've got the rebound to take. So that's going to give extra vitamins and minerals that are sweated out whenever
Wouldn't hurt to get a hair analysis.
And the
See
hair
what's going
analysis
on.
is going to tell you where you're at right now, right?
That's exactly right. So if you're very, very low in a particular mineral, you want to get that secret sauce to add to your complete program.
And would you do just that secret sauce?
No, that goes, you got to do the complete program. You got to do the 90 essential nutrients.
Okay. I just
And
want to
then you
make
add
sure
the
that there
secret
was
sauce. Then you
clarity
add the
there.
secret sauce. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And we are at the time where you get to take off to your next program. So thank you so much for joining us here on A Daily with Doc. We will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, everybody. Good team. Good family.
Yes, fabulous family, Dr. Wallach. Thank you. And if I could get my fabulous family here on the screen with me, I just want to say thank you, because I could not do this without my chosen longevity family here, where I have Sherry, who is helping let people into the room and help keep an eye on the chat and the cameras, and also out on the different platforms with comments. We have Marilyn, who is doing what's one of the best things about having a live presence here in our Zoom room, and that is opening up that chat. You will see all of her work, and I'm not going to say tedious. Tedious is not the word. It's very structured work that allows people to see exactly what Dr. Wallach recommends as she's doing dictation. And we also have Phyllis, who helps with that as well, and making sure that the questions on all the different platforms are brought into the Zoom room so that we can ask those questions also. So thank you so much, Marilyn and Phyllis, for all that both of you do. And we have Ruth Ellen Sanchez, who is my executive production manager, who helps to put it all together and keep it organized and keep us focused as we're getting set up. And we have AJ, who is on the phone helping somebody, folks. If you are not working with a longevity distributor and you do not have a coach and you have never purchased longevity products before and you would like to, I have a call team set up at 855-949-3377. That's 855-949-3377, where you can call and speak to one of our certified holistic health coaches and make sure that you get exactly what you need based on what you are experiencing and your needs. And we also have our website, folks. You can go to dailywithdoc.com, use that contact option if you want to send us an email. Most importantly, another way is to sign up for our newsletter, and you can submit your questions in with that sign up. So we make that just a single process for you, trying to make things easier. We have our store there on Daily with Doc as well, in addition to the good foods, bad foods list. I know Dr. Wallach goes through it so quickly, but fear not, we have it on our website right at the top in the menu, Dr. Wallach's 10 Good Foods, Bad Foods. My name is Becca Dukes. Thank you so much for joining us here. I know with certainty, and I hope that you heard it, that there was something within this program that can benefit you or someone you know or love. Use it. You didn't hear it by accident. It was all divinely orchestrated. So until next time, bye for now.
you.